What are the rudest flight attendants? What airlines has the rudest flight attendants? Florida-based Spirit Airlines topping another unflattering ranking. A few weeks ago, the U.S. Public Interest Research Group Education Fund analyzed complaint rates among passengers over the last 5 years. The ultra-low-cost carrier came out on top of that list again. Now, this isn't the first time. And this carrier is known for super tight seating, dozens of fees, including charges for soft drinks, carry-on bags. Executives there probably not sweating the study because another report said Spirit also had the highest profit margin of any U.S. carrier in 2013. So what qualifies as rude and what can these airlines do about it? Our guest this hour is a travel expert, Cathy Banks. The website is legacytravel.com. How are you, Cathy?
I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So what does qualify as rude? Do we know what this survey asked people?
Well, I think it just asked a simple question, who, in fact, they gave him a list of airlines and said, which of these has the rudest flight attendant? And I think it was 26% of them gave their vote to Spirit.
Yeah. What's the difference? You had Spirit, Air Canada, Frontier. The bottom of the list, the one percenters here, Southwest, Alaska, even JetBlue, Hawaiian, and Delta, they had the best overall. People flying those airlines had the best overall experience with the flight attendants. What's the difference between the company culture between the best and the worst?
I think a lot of it has to do with how good of a place the company is to work. I think that Southwest is legendary for what a great place it is to work. There's video that went viral. The flight attendant's name is Marty Cobb. She's from Dallas. And just at Southwest, they value you, and that comes through in how people treat the passengers. And it's just a love fest. It's just all around a good situation.
Yeah, so it comes from the top, basically.
You think about any business, and basically how the employees are treated is going to be how the customers are treated. It's very simple.
Yeah. So you talk about Spirit Airlines here. They had the highest profit margin, but they were also the rudest. Do they care, and what can they do to possibly improve this? And
why would they want to improve it?
Well, but do flyers care? If they have the highest profit margin, people are. Does this mean people are okay with being treated rude as long as they don't have to pay a lot of money?
Well, you just hit the nail on the head. People are getting what's most important to them.
Yeah.
Because when you search for a flight, if one carrier is $10 more than another one, you're going to take the cheaper carrier. And I'm not saying you, but most people, when you're searching for a flight, you just want a low fare because you just want to get from point A to point B. And Spirit fills that need.
So you're getting what you pay for.
That's exactly right. And sometimes people say, well, how can consumers make their voice be heard? We want to be treated better. And I say it's very, very simple. Just vote with your dollars.
Yeah. I fly Southwest a lot. I enjoy Southwest. I've flown them since I was a child, actually. I've never flown Spirit Airlines, but my sister tells me she's out of Florida there. She tells me not to get on Spirit Airlines, even though she continues to do so. So your point is proven right there.
Right, exactly. But in the defense of flight attendants, to be a flight attendant is a very difficult job. It's everybody... and again, I'm making generalization. Many, many people lose their brains when they travel. You're out of your familiar element. You're in a situation that's beyond your control. And so a lot of times people aren't very rational when they travel, and flight attendants have to deal with that all day, every day.
What are some of the things they have to deal with? And do we have stories of maybe some flight attendants who have handled things well, better than they could have?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's annoyed by having to pay to check bags. So now flight attendants are having to deal with so much more carry-on bag and people getting upset because they brought their carry-on on, and now there's no more overhead space, and now they're having to check it. So they have to deal with angry people on every single flight. Also, flight delays. Did you know flight attendants with most airlines, if not all airlines, they don't start getting paid until the plane takes off. So when you're sitting there on the tarmac or there's a flight delay, guess who's really bummed out about it? It's the flight attendants, because they're sitting there doing that for free. But they do it generally with a smile on their face. The Asiana crash last year, all you have to do is Google that, and those flight attendants were heroes. They kept going back and pulling people out. And you want to talk about above and beyond the call of duty. That's heroism there.
Yeah. So, we talked about bang for the buck. When you're researching flights that you want to take, and maybe you don't want to pay maybe you don't want to pay a lot, but you don't want to go very cheap because you might end up with Frontier, or you might end up with Spirit Airlines. What's the happy medium there, where you want to be treated well, but you don't want to go all out and pay a zillion bucks for a flight?
Well, I think you just consider how you've been treated before. I think Southwest is a prime example. It doesn't cost a fortune to fly Southwest, but yet you're treated
that's what
well.
I noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And even the legacy carriers, they're not out of the ballpark compared to some of these discount carriers. So, if you've been treated well by an airline in the past, then vote with your dollars and do them again. Another way you can vote with your dollars is all the carriers most of them have upgraded seating, not first class, they have that too, but larger seats and more legroom closer to the front. It's called main cabin extra or preferred something. Sure. It's called something different with every airline. Buy those seats. It gives you a better experience, and the more airlines see that as consumers we are valuing experience over just bottom line cost, then they'll start delivering that. They're just delivering what we're asking for.
Cathy Banks is a travel expert. The website is legacytravel.com. Cathy, we appreciate your time as always.
Thank you.